Hi guys, Merry Christmas everyone who is celebrating it today. Today I decided to make another video about Christmas lessons that I have been teaching for the past week. And I decided to show you exactly how my lessons are done, step by step. I will show you all props that I use. Usually when I have holidays or celebration, when I have lessons dedicated to a holiday, I prepare just one bag. I've put all props and games in one bag for all my students. If I have older students to teach, I add a few more complicated games or activities, and then I go. When you don't have to prepare each day, when you don't have to prepare each lesson for every student, you already feel like you are on vacation. So holiday lessons like this add a little bit, of this holiday mood. So this is what I do. I wrote a lesson plan. This is for younger students, and here I added up a little bit more for older students. How I start? Usually for younger students, I have a warm-up where we repeat numbers, weekdays, months, and I usually pass some kind of a ball, and we pass and we quote 1, 2, 3, etc. And for a Christmas lesson, I have a Christmas ball, which I call Christmas Bobo. This is made from a foam. My daughter made it. It was supposed to be a bauble for a Christmas tree, but this little thing came off and now it became a ball. And it's very nice. It's a handmade. Kids like everything that is handmade and unique. So I used it for younger students. For older students, I don't use it because we have such activities that already take a lot of time, so we don't need a warm-up. Or sometimes I ask them some questions, how are they doing, what plans do they have for Christmas, something like that, to make them feel better, to make them relax a little bit. And so after that, usually I start with a theory, and since it is a Christmas lesson, I prepared flashcards, Christmas flashcards, with notes, with vocabulary for this Christmas flashcards. If I go to younger students, I flash these cards twice, like I name and I show like gingerbread, angel, mistletoe, etc. 2 times. And then I put them all on the floor because there are 17 cards. Some of them are easy, like Santa Claus or Snowflake, but some of them are hard, like mistletoe. So there should be some easy ones that everyone knows, and there should be also some complicated ones, so that there would be a little bit of challenge, so that they wouldn't feel, I know that all, I don't need to learn that. So I always make sure that there are few hard ones. Okay, so after I flashed it twice, they got familiar about these cards. I put them on the floor, and then I hand them notes, and I say, please take 2 stripes, 2 cards. And they take 1 and 2. They read it like reindeer, Christmas balls, and they have to put it on the picture according what is where. Okay, when they put it all on the cards, then I ask them, close your eyes, and I take out some pictures, and notes are left without pictures, and I say, can you tell me what picture is supposed to be under that note? Like if there is a note reindeer and there is no picture under it, I say, what's reindeer? If they name it correctly, they say in Polish like it's reniferek. So I said, yeah, correct, and I put it back. So I do it like once like that. Second round, I say, close your eyes again. And this time I take these notes and I mix them. Like if I have a picture of a reindeer, I mix it with the note Christmas ball. I put Christmas balls on reindeer picture, and when Christmas balls pictures, I put reindeer. Reindeer. And so then I say, open your eyes, and I ask them, please fix the mistakes, and they have to fix the mistakes and put it back together. And the third round, I say again, close your eyes. And this time I take English notes. I take out English notes. So they're only pictures, and they have to name it in English. So this is like first part of my lesson. Second part of my lesson consists of games. But this was for younger students. And for older students, I do it a little bit differently, so that would be a little bit of challenge, not so easy, when you show pictures and then put names, it's really easy for them. And so first what I do, I show them names, I show them the notes, yes, and we read them together and we translate, and I show it twice, we read and translate. Then I take out those pictures, I put them on the floor, and then I ask them to put it correctly, what is where. And then again we do the same, like I mix the names, I take notes, I take them out, I make them translate, etc. So the first part is done. Second part, I usually use some like a multi-purpose board game. And so this time I had a very funny game, almost impossible to play. It's a Jenga game. So we have this penguin with a tray, and on this tray we build a tower like Jenga, yes, with these ice bricks. And then we play it like normal Jenga, but before each move, a student has to take a card or a note, translate it, and then he makes a move. If the tower falls down, the person loses and the other person gets, like, for example, 2 points. So that's a multi-purpose game. So it works for all ages, even for older kids. And then after that, if I have time, and usually I do, on holiday lessons we don't write much, we don't use books because it's boring, but we still learn and we get to know new vocabulary. And so this time what I had for younger students, I had something to do, like craft, so to say. It was, okay, I had a craft. Okay. So I have found this craft on internet. This is a snowflake. And here it says in Polish, but for example, my favorite Christmas movie. We cut those circles, we glue it to here, and then over here they have to write in English, like if it's here favorite movie, Christmas movie, they write a name in English, or my favorite Christmas tradition, like carols, they glue it here and they write it here, carols. Or my favorite Christmas present, they glue the circle on the other end of the snowflake and they write it in English. So it's an easy craft for younger students. I also had a Christmas tree where there were decorations. They had to cut out decorations like lights, Christmas baubles, gingerbread, and notes. They have to stick the decoration and connect notes in English to the parts, to those toys or decorations on Christmas tree. That was for very, very young students. Normally this snowflake works. For older students, I had kind of like a lab book, and we had something like that. There were more. This is what is left. So here we had some words, some Christmas words like Advent, Boxing Days, and here are explanations. So they had to stick this star, and under each end of the star they had to stick correct name of this action, like the period of 4 Sundays before Christmas. How is it called in English? And it says Advent. So they have to cut out Advent and stick it right here. Then last Christmas, I gave you my heart, and here we have some ticks that what they have to write, what they loved last Christmas. And we did a little bit more, but I don't have it anymore because I gave it all out. But anyway, we just did a craft like this, or a lab book. And after that, we had, for all ages, we had tic-tac-toe. For tic-tac-toe, I bought in one of the shops here in Poland. It's called Pepco. I bought those ice cubes, ice shapes in the shape of a Christmas tree and a star. So like you play tic-tac-toe, yes, it was a circle and a cross, and here we had a star and a Christmas tree. And I had cards for tic-tac-toe. I had 3, so we had 3 rounds, and we played, basically use these cards, we put this on top, name them and play. Who lost got nothing, who won got like 2 points, for example, for each game. Okay, after that, my older students had a quiz, mini quiz. I have these little tiny cards, and on these tiny cards, I had a picture and 3 variants of the answer, and they had to choose one. If they said correctly, they got a point. If they said incorrectly, they lost. It means I get a point. So, depending on how many cards they would say correctly, these so many points they had. If they said incorrectly, I had that, or the other student next to them. So basically, if they lost, it means they they gave the point to another person, another player. Okay, then younger students had memory. I had these huge memory cards, very pretty on this side. I printed and laminated them like 2 years ago. I had 1 year when I just started teaching. I dedicated it to preparation, to lamination, to printing, to cutting, just I dedicated that year to all those things that I might need later on in the future. And this year, I don't do anything except of those printing, normally printed cards. But these I have done once, and I use it already for the 3rd year. So anyway, we played huge memo. And when we play memo, I asked them this time, can you please, when you open one, you say, I see a candle. And then the other one, I see a candle. And if you have a pair, I asked them to say, I have a pair, so that they could use these phrases very often. And after that game, they already remembered how to say I see, and they remembered. And in every game, I had some new vocabulary, like holly. You saw in my flashcards. Among my flashcards, I didn't have holly. And when we had tic-tac-toe, I had some new vocabulary there too. So with every game, with each game, I had a few more new words in the game. So anyway, I had this memo with younger kids. With older kids, I played taboo, which is like you have to explain about some word, not using some words that are given here. Like you have a word pudding, and you have to explain to the other person what is pudding, but you cannot use word dish, eat, tasty. And this way they try to remember as many words as possible. If the other person guessed it right, so this person who explained gets a point. If not, the other person gets a point. So older kids really had a challenge with this game because they had to remember all colors, shapes, like whole adjectives in their lives to be able to describe. And see one more new word, pudding. Here we had also a letter. So they also had some new games. Okay, then for younger learners, I had also these dice. We would throw dice and we would say, I have a candle, I have a Santa. So if you have a picture and picture, you have 2 points. But here we also had like these. I would call them prize. And if they get these 2 together, it means they got prize. It means they get 10 points without working, for free. So we rolled the dice like I don't know, 10 or 15 times. Some of them got prizes, and they were really happy because they earned plus 10 points to all those points that have already earned during other games. Okay, then older kids. With younger kids, sometimes I played it too, but it's very stressful. So older kids survive better after this game. So it was a doble, Christmas doble. You know, I give cards, and we put one in the middle. If you have the same picture, you put it on top. You quickly have to say what is this, and as soon as you run out of pictures of these circles, you are the winner. So we have to think very fast and remember very fast. And here we also had new words like cone. So we looked through them first before we started to play, to get familiar to these new pictures if they see some new, and we played it together. Okay, then also for younger students I had bingo, very pretty bingo. This time somebody gave me as a present this very cute present bag, and I decided that I will use it on my lessons. And I had cards here with pictures for bingo, because bingo cards looked like this. I had pictures here, and then they would take one out from this bag. If they had this picture like mitten, they would put it on top of their picture. As soon as they had all pictures covered, they had to shout bingo. If they don't notice and I shout, or the other person shouts bingo instead of them, the other person gets 2 points. And if they shout it first, they get 2 points. So again, a little bit fast, but not too fast for younger students. Sometimes for older students who are on the lower level, also works well. Okay, what else? I think this is all what I had. Yes. So basically, that was my Christmas lesson for older and for younger. If I see that older students don't do well with the games that I had, I use those for younger ones. And opposite, if I see that one younger student is very fast and it's getting boring for him, I take one game from my older students' lesson. All of it I carry in my one bag, and this is how we played. And at the end, we count points, and the person who gets more points always gets a reward from me. We had Christmas stickers like these. I always have some stickers for them. Well, now I ran out of my Christmas stickers, obviously, because I had whole week of lessons dedicated to Christmas. Okay, I hope you liked my lesson, you liked my ideas. Maybe in some of my later videos I will record you and tell you how I find those materials. I am dreaming about making my own. I want to learn how to make my own materials and help other teachers. Maybe someday I will, but for now, if you need some ideas and tips where to get, how to do it, I will record videos sometime later. Okay, so have a nice weekend, rest well, get your strength back for lessons after winter holidays, and see you soon. Pa!